Oh, grrr. So some exciting news. At least for me, it's exciting. So Tulsi Gabbard has made it to the debate in October. I am so excited about that because Tulsi Gabbard is the only one who has made any kind of comment, any kind of statement that had a lasting effect. When she called out Kamala Harris on her record as being a prosecutor. Those comments were the only comments that had a lasting effect. Kamala never ever recovered from that. She's actually polling at like 3% at the moment. So where's that top tier now, Camilla? Where's the top tier now? You're not in the top tier. You're not. Bye bye. Bye bye. And I know that probably really angers Anna Kasparin and the Young Turks. I love it, love it. I was such a big fan of the Young Turks. I really was. But again, and I'm sorry to keep bringing them up, but they are the largest independent news source. They are the not independent. They are the largest progressive news source. And the fact that they are not being progressive at this moment, which really doesn't surprise me because they weren't progressive back in 2016 either when Bernie Sanders lost the nomination. Well, not lost. I keep saying lost. The nomination was stolen from Bernie Sanders. Let's put it out there like that. But even back then they weren't progressive because what did they do? They bowed down, they buckled down, and they voted for Hillary Clinton. That's not being progressive. That's not at all. Okay? So for me, it's more like the Young Turks aren't as progressive as they claim to be. Do they state facts? Yes, especially when it doesn't affect their candidate. Example, Anna Kasparin and Jen Kruger both want Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders to be the nominee. Anna Kasparin wants Bernie Sanders to be the nominee. Jen is kind of on the fence with both. My thing is like they're not putting information out there that's going to sway any undecided voter to vote for either Tulsi Gabbard, to vote for even Cory Booker. They're not doing their jobs properly. And I'm not talking about policy. Because they're very good with that. They're very good with talking about policy and breaking things down so people can understand. My thing is example, they want Elizabeth Warren to win the nominee if Bernie Sanders does not win the nominee. Yet they don't state the facts on Elizabeth Warren. Fact number one, excuse me. She said, I am not taking any large donations, any corporate money, any dark money from to pay for my primary race or whatever the case may be, right? Fine. She didn't take any corporate money while running for president. But they don't ever mention that she had $10 million left over from running for Senate, which she did take corporate money from. She did take dark money from that when she was running for Senate back in 2018. She did take dark money and corporate money to run for Senate. It wasn't until she ran for president that she decided not to take any corporate or PAC money. And she used $10 million of those funds to finance her run as president. But they're not stating that. They're not stating the fact that she is going to take corporate money again, dark money again, if she wins the general election. They're not saying that. They're not saying that all three of Donald Trump's military budget bills to increase military budget, she actually was for. They're not stating that. These are things that they need to state because these are things that can persuade a voter to actually vote for Bernie Sanders. The way it looks, they don't want people to vote for Bernie Sanders anymore. They want people to vote for Elizabeth Warren. That's what they want. Maybe Anna Kasparin, she may say that she wants people to vote for Bernie Sanders, but not giving all the information on Elizabeth Warren is showing the complete opposite. I'm going to keep it a buck. That's the truth. Now, another thing that they're not stating is her having meetings with Hillary Clinton, her warming up to the Democratic Party because she doesn't want to seem like so much of an outsider anymore. She keeps saying it. I'm not a socialist. I am a capitalist. Her health plan, her eliminating student debt is not as progressive as Bernie Sanders. Yet they kind of make it seem like they're on the same page, and they're not. There are significant differences between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren takes corporate PAC money. She always has until her run for presidency. And still she used corporate money to finance her presidential run. So it's not like she didn't use any of the money to finance her run. What makes anybody think that Elizabeth Warren is going to work for the American people when she's still taking corporate PAC money to fund her presidency? But they're not saying that on the Young Turks. They're really not. They're making it seem as if they're not, that they're unbiased and this, that, and the third, but they're not stating the facts. Anna Kasparian keeps going on about Tulsi Gabbard, keeps on about Tulsi Gabbard. I really want to know what is her problem with Tulsi Gabbard. Seriously, because back in 2016, she was the only one to freaking even have Bernie Sanders back when nobody else did. Let's be honest about that. Let's keep it a buck about that. I'm not voting for Tulsi Gabbard. I'm not. My vote is for Bernie Sanders. So me and Anna Kasparian are actually voting for the same person. My thing is, why try to make Tulsi Gabbard look so bad? And Jen Kruger said the other day that I support about 90% of what Tulsi Gabbard states. That's what he said on his show. It doesn't seem like it. It really doesn't. You don't fight Anna on anything that she says about Tulsi Gabbard. In fact, you kind of sound like you agree with everything Anna's saying. You say, oh no, I don't. Oh no, whatever. But you kind of do. Like let's be honest. You know, at the end of the day, you have other independent progressive outlets that I think are way better than the Young Turks when it comes down to being fair. You know, the Young Turks aren't being fair. They're not talking about Elizabeth Warren. They're actually not even talking about how Tulsi Gabbard is the only candidate to have a lasting effect in the debates. She's the only one to have. If everybody said it, she was the one who was missing in the debate. She was the one who was missing in the debate. It was Tulsi Gabbard. They're not stating that on the Young Turks. They're not at all. At all. They keep making it seem like Elizabeth Warren wins, Elizabeth Warren wins. And it's like, dude, state the facts. State the actual facts. State the fact that she took corporate money to fund her Senate run. Her Senate run had $10 million left over from that, and then she used that to fund her presidency. State that. State the fact that she said on your show she's going to take dark corporate money. What if she wins the primaries in the general election? State that. State the fact that she actually voted for all three of Trump's increased military budget. His military budget increases. State those things. Why aren't you stating those things? Like, this is why I'm saying you're biased. You sit there and say you're not, but you are. Why don't you state the fact that she's having secret meetings with Hillary Clinton? Why don't you state that? You're not stating that because you're biased. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's be honest. And it really frustrates me because I was a fan of the Young Turks. I really was. I freaking loved the Young Turks. I loved Anna Kasparian. I loved the fact that she was so outspoken and she was so like in her own, and I love that about her. I still love that about her. But I want you to be factual. I want you to state facts. When it comes down to Tulsi Gabbard, when it comes down to Elizabeth Warren, you're not doing that. You're not stating that everything Anna Kasparian has ever said about Tulsi Gabbard has been negative. Like, she said, oh yeah, she does some good things, but let's list the bad things. She never lists the good things. She always lists the bad things. Every female on the Young Turks does that. I've noticed that. Every female on the Young Turks say, oh yeah, Tulsi Gabbard does some good things, but let's list the bad things. Let's list them. Not list the good things. Let's list all the bad things. That's being biased. That's what you're doing. And that's why I don't like the Young Turks anymore, because they are biased. They can sit there and say they're not, but their actions speak louder than their words. With that being said, I am so happy Tulsi Gabbard made the debates in October. It's just like a birthday present to me. Who is she going to go after this time? Is she going to go after Joe Biden? Oh, I think, please, Tulsi Gabbard, watch this. Please watch this. I hope you watch this. Go after the fact that Elizabeth Warren used dark money to fund her presidency. Please do that. Go after Elizabeth Warren, the fact that she's having secret meetings with Hillary Clinton. Please do that. Go after the fact that Elizabeth Warren actually voted for 3 of Trump's military budget increases. Please, Tulsi Gabbard, go after her. Please go after her. Because the way you went after Kamala and Kamala never recovered, is gonna be this. Same thing's gonna happen to Elizabeth Warren. And I'm not saying I don't want Elizabeth Warren to win. I'm going to keep it a buck because she's not going to work for the American people. I'm going to be honest. She's not. You know, and the thing that people don't understand either is Even if Elizabeth Warren were to win, do you think she's going to beat Trump? She's not going to beat Trump. Trump is going to talk about her being Pocahontas. And we may not like that as progressives. We may not like that as people who aren't racist, who that isn't important to us. But to a lot of people it is. People see that as she took an opportunity from somebody else. She actually took the opportunity from a minority to get into that school. Like, she took that opportunity away from somebody. He's gonna bring that up. They need to bring that up during the debates. I'm sorry to say it like this. Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard needs to bring that up. People are so scared to attack Elizabeth Warren or Joe Biden. Everybody loves attacking Bernie Sanders. They obviously love attacking Tulsi Gabbard. You know, I bet these are things that need to be brought up now during the debates. So even if she were to win a nomination, when Donald Trump brings it up, she has a comeback for it. He's gonna bring it up. He's gonna bring up the fact that she took somebody's opportunity away. He's gonna bring that up. He really doesn't really give a shit about it. He doesn't really care about it. He doesn't care about helping a minority. He doesn't care about helping an African American. He doesn't care about helping a Latino. He doesn't care about helping a Native American. But the words are right. The words fit his agenda. That's what I am saying. His base care about things like that. They really do. They care. It's the wording. It's the framing. Elizabeth Warren is not ready to take on Donald Trump if he doesn't get impeached, which he's not even going to get impeached. I'm going to keep it a buck. At first, I was like, yeah, he's going to get impeached. But after not Tulsi Gabbard, God bless her. After Nancy Pelosi pulled back on the scope of what they're actually investigating on Donald Trump, I'm like, he's not going to get impeached. She doesn't want to do her job. She doesn't want to impeach Trump. She wants to make it look like that's what she wants to do, but that's not what Nancy Pelosi wants to do. Nancy Pelosi don't want to work. Let's keep it a buck. She don't want to work. I don't mean to age shame. I don't mean to say it like that, but I mean she's tired. She's been doing this like the 1980s, if I'm not mistaken. Like, maybe she doesn't want to do it anymore, because that's how it looked. I'm gonna be honest. Let me take back that statement. I apologize. I don't mean make it sound like she's old and whatever, but maybe she just doesn't want to do it anymore. You know, because she doesn't want to do her job. Like, she just doesn't want to do it. Whew. All right. Ciao. But that's my views on this whole Tulsi Gabbard and the Conspiracy thing, Young Turk situation. I'm so happy Tulsi Gabbard made the debate in October. You still have like so many undecided voters. I'm not undecided. I know who I'm voting for. But you have a lot of independent voters. You have a lot of undecided Democratic voters. Because a lot of people know that the Democratic Party can be bullshit too. It can be just as bullshit as the Republican Party. Like, let's be honest. You know, with that being said, I can't wait for the debate in October. I'm definitely going to watch it. I want to see who Tulsi Gabbard takes down. Yes, God. But if you take down anybody, you already took down Kamala. You took her down already. Like, let's be honest, Tulsi, you did that thing. You did it, yes, to the gods. But you need to take down Elizabeth Warren. I want Bernie to win. And the only way Bernie's going to win is if Elizabeth Warren is completely out of the picture. You need to bring up the fact that she's taking meetings with Hillary Clinton. You need to bring up the fact that she used dark money to fund her presidency. She used dark money when she ran for Senate. She used $10 million of that money to fund her presidency. You need to bring that up. You need to bring up the fact that she was actually in support of Donald Trump's 3 military budget increases. Those are things you need to bring up, Tulsi Gabbard. You need to take Elizabeth Warren out of the running. And I think you're the only one who's going to be able to do that. And I think that's why people are excited to have you in the debate. I don't want Elizabeth Warren to win. I did at first. It was either her or Bernie. But now it's Bernie and that's it. Bernie and Tulsi Gabbard. But Tulsi Gabbard's polling at probably 3 or 4%. Probably not even. But it would be either Bernie or Tulsi Gabbard. But anyway, hope you guys like. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.